Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is Security Happy Hour. It is me, Cyber Warrior, and this is CyberWarriorStudios. I have with me today three amazing guests from, well, I'm in the U.S., so they're from across the pond, and I am so happy to have them here with me because it's been a while. I've never had Jay Jay Davey on this show, so we're going to bring them all in. We've got Paul Charles, Ben Docherty, and Jay Jay Davey, also known as NoxCyber. And I'm extremely, extremely grateful to have you all on because it has been almost a year that I've been doing this show. Almost a year. I think this is episode 42. And I had Paul and Ben on, but my timing has never worked out for Jay because even though he's a Viking, he's old and goes to bed early. And so at 1 o'clock in the morning, he's asleep when I'm doing my show. But look, I'm really looking forward to this episode because this is something that means a lot to me is that a global reach in cybersecurity because we need to all work together, which will get us into our first topic. But real quick, and solely because Jay, you've never been on this show, a lot of people know you. Do me a favor and let people know what you're doing now and how important is being on here and spreading the message, especially with the giveaways that we have today. How important is it to you in cybersecurity?
So I think the whole community endeavor that we're doing at the moment with the cyber supply drop and cyber job hunting, cyber mental dojo, all of the community effort we're doing at the moment is absolutely paramount to help inspire people to join cybersecurity and help break down barriers that they may have and help get them into the industry. So it's really, really important that we keep on doing this. So big shout out to Josh Mason and the Cyber Supply Drop for enabling us to do this and help other people. And a big shout out to Paul Charles as well, who's on here today, who's built an amazing community called Cyber Job Hunting, where I've just seen people go from strength to strength and people help each other. And it warms the heart. It's really good to see.
Yeah, definitely. I'm extremely happy to have you here, and it's great to have you because me and you have been talking a lot over the past few months. I met you and Paul around the same time through Discord, and then Ben on Twitter and stuff like that. So it's been amazing. Now, before we get started, anybody on Facebook, please go to this link down below so that you can interact with us in the comments. It's the only way you're going to be able to be part of the giveaway. Now, for that giveaway, Jay, what are we going with for the hashtag for the first of, what'd you say, 3 codes?
Yeah, so I've got 3 Blue Team Labs Online codes to give away and a 1 month VIP. I was going to do it there every time I stroke my beard. Someone sends me a screenshot of it. I was going to give you a code, but we're going to do 3 hashtags. And the first person to send me the first hashtag is going to get the first code. So the first code is going to be beard stroke.
Beard stroke. Okay, so we put that in there.
So what beer am I drinking? It's Guinness. I've got to do it. I've had my DNA test results back. I'm Irish.
Look, I'm Irish. I'm German. I'm Native American. I'm a lot of other things. So being that we have this group here, and like I said, it leads into our first, our first topic that I want to cover, and that's networking and the importance of it within our industry and the importance of it within, just overall daily life, so what is your take on networking and how it can lead to your first job or your 10th job? It doesn't matter what. What do you think?
Do you want to go, Jay, or who wants to go, Ben?
Yeah, pick one.
You
know what? We'll go.
Okay. So
you got it, Paul. Okay.
So just to introduce myself as well, for those who don't know, I am actually a cybersecurity recruiter. I have got no idea about some of the technical things that these gentlemen do. I am purely here for the jobs, so this is probably a question aimed more at myself. So networking is vital. I'd say sending a CV out everywhere you can. Okay, it's great. It gets you exposure, but it won't get you to the top of the pile. what will get you to the top of the pile is contacting directly the line manager of that position, engaging with them, talking to them, and just making friends with them. Really, what you'll find is over time, as you talk to more and more of these people, when they have jobs that come up, they will come to you. You won't have to go to them. They will come to you and say, "Hey, I'm hiring for, I don't know what it might be, a SOC analyst position. Are you still available? Would you be interested in working for me?" It is hard to get sorted in the beginning. It's one of those sort of things. It does snowball. Once you've got to a certain level, everyone starts to know you. It's a lot easier. But yeah, albeit in the beginning, it's very hard to get sorted. What I'd advise you do to remedy that, 10 minutes in the morning on LinkedIn, post something relevant. If you can't think of anything to post, find someone else's post and drop a comment on there. Get some engagement going, get people drawn to you. That's how you network. And yeah, it is incredibly important. Either you're doing your first job or your 10th one. It will never change.
Yeah, definitely.
I gotta add into that. When you're talking the networking side, I've always found the community conferences, finding what's happening in your area, going out and finding that is a key thing, because not only do you get to network, you get to find other people that have similar skills, you get to learn new skills, but you also tend to find where the people who have the types of jobs you're looking for are working, who they're working for in the area. So it's a lot more with the contacts through that you get. That's kind of one of my major things. It's kind of, long story, what got me the role I'm in at the moment. Doing the community work, doing that kind of stuff, and getting yourself noticed from that, seeing that you're the type of person who would go through, put themselves in front of people, go through and do a talk, I mean, there's some great events like the beer farmers and things like that, doing the rookie based events where you can get yourself in front of people, get yourself start to get noticed. That's kind of one of the major avenues I'd say exploit as well.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. And it's one of those things, and I've looked at it and I've considered it. LinkedIn is really hard for me because I see a lot of knowledgeable people on there, but it's very hard to I don't want to say get noticed or get people to see what you put out, but it's one of those things where when you do what I do, so not only am I a security consultant, but I'm a content creator. And so I have to manage social media for Twitter, for Instagram, for Facebook. But LinkedIn, I don't want to treat it like a Facebook or like an Instagram. So you have to be more technical or more knowledgeable when you put things out there and not just advertise. So for me, it makes it hard because I'm just like, man, half the stuff I put out is just promotion. It's this is who I am. This is what I do, things like that. So I don't always look up the best content or the best news or the best information and put out on LinkedIn. And I just end up trying to comment on things that maybe I see Jay post or Paul or, something like that. And I'm like, I never get seen on LinkedIn. Like, never. But that's how I've met a lot of good people, because even though my post may personally not get seen, I have enough breadth of a network in other areas, whether that be Twitter or Facebook or, whatever else, that the connections I make on LinkedIn, I could say, hey, if you want to know more about me, go here. Go to Twitter, go to this Twitter handle, go to this website, go to this YouTube channel, go to this blog, go to this GitHub repo, whatever the case may be. I have so many different areas that I can send people to know me, that it just makes it that much easier.
Yeah.
So, Jay, what's your take on it, man? What's your take on networking and the importance in not just in industry, but in general? Like, because I think we've built a hell of a network between me, you, Paul, Ben, Eric Bellardo, who's monitoring in chat right now. Just so many other people. Like, I think our network is amazing. It's just a matter of, where is it going to take us from here? You know what I mean?
So the way I tell people to network is you're not trying to speak cybersecurity, you're trying to speak to a human. So you need to be able to relate to them on a personal level. So what's a problem that they have? Try and solve that problem. So for us, it's trying to find a role. It's trying to make yourself relevant in the industry and get yourself seen by hiring managers. But you need to do that with a personal touch. You don't want to just go out there and say, I know Linux, I know networking. You want to go out there, show your personal skills, talk to people, help people, build communities, talk with people, build those relationships. That's what gets you noticed. When you build those relationships, in 5 years' time, you're going to get a role without even needing a resume or CV. You can go there with just saying, hey, I need a role. And you go, all right, I know you. We've known each other for a while now. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the role. And before you know it, you're signing the dotted line for a role. And that's how powerful networking can be. But it's all about being personal and making those relationships, not just want, but give back. Give people something. So really help people. Really be a community leader. Because when you do have your time in need, they're going to give it back to you tenfold. And that speaks volume. For my recent post, I'm struggling to afford certifications at the moment. I want to take CISM or CIS, and I'm really struggling at the moment. And I've had people pouring out with support. And for me, it's overwhelming just to see that positivity. And it's in there, so you've got to tap into it. And a quick one on the hashtag giveaway, you've got to message me on LinkedIn, the hashtag, and the first person to do it is going to get the first code.
What would you say it was? How are you doing this, Jay?
So you've got to message me on LinkedIn. The first person to do it is going to get the code. I'm not going to give you the code straight away, but after the show, I'll give you the code, and then go ahead from there.
So all right. So you're doing this a little different, but all right. Because I have a giveaway tool that I was using, hence the reason for the hashtag.
Oh, your giveaway tool. Oh, let's use that. Let's use the giveaway tool.
So here in 3 minutes, we'll do our first drawing. You may have not have been tuned in for that. So we'll do our first drawing here in 3 minutes, and it'll pick a winner for us. So then you don't have to worry about it. No one can say anybody's biased. Nobody can say anybody's just playing favorites. It randomizes it based on that.
I've been struggling with the giveaways. So I've been putting everyone's name into Excel, getting a number generator to pull out a random number, find a random number, and do it that way. I'm just like, why don't I use Python or something? And I'm like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, that's why I started StreamYard. Alexis, you only get one entry, so you can put that in as many times as you want. It's not going to give you any more entries. You only get one. But yeah, I think networking is huge. It's how I've gotten several of my jobs. It's how I've been able to build a community, and you know, I want people to understand that the community is not just one area, one locale. It is global. We are all involved in this. This is something that together, no matter what you do, you are involved. You are, if you want to be part of cybersecurity, you really need to work with other people and not isolate yourself. And I think so much of what we do, people like to, I don't know, hide. They like to, they like to be anonymous. And I get it. In the cybersecurity industry, that's a big thing, being anonymous. But Paul knows where that comes from, and so does Jay. but that's what they want to be. They don't want people to know who they are. And I get it, privacy is huge. But if you're trying to be a white hat or a gray hat, if you're trying to get a job, you cannot hide. It does not work, because then you're trying to get a job and you're like, oh yeah, I've done this, and this. Well, where's your name on it? How do I know that's you? Everybody knows who I am. My face, this beautiful mug right here is everywhere. Like, I don't hide. NoxCyber, good old Jay Jay Davey. We all know who he is. Paul, dude, you go by Paul Charles. Hell, we know who you are. And apparently Ben likes to be a pyromaniac, which there's nothing wrong with that. Well, I like fire too, so there's nothing wrong with that at all. But we know these names, but we know the people. So before we get any further, let me go ahead and we're going to share this screen.
I need to get some wine.
You do that. So we're gonna share this screen and we're gonna do our first drawing. And we got 12 entries. And 3, 2, 1, draw. Who's the winner? Who's the winner? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Zoltan! All right,
Boom.
Zoltan, you're our first winner.
Boom, happy days. So
Right.
if you have me on LinkedIn, Zoltan, please message me and I'll give you your code. I was just about to pour wine into Guinness then. I'm a bit of a slow drinker. But well done, Zoltan, on winning your code. If you message me on LinkedIn or Twitter, I have Twitter as well, at NoxCyber. If you message me, I'll give you your code. And congratulations on winning.
Yeah, congrats, Zoltan. We have another hashtag. The next one, let's go with Paul. You come up with the next one.
Oh dear. A beard stroke was a good one. Let's go with Wales. Simply because the
Wales?
magnificent flag is behind me.
I thought he was going to go for anonymous then.
Anonymous.
Yeah, no, that's still touchy.
All right, so we're
Still a
going.
delicate subject, so we will have. I mean, we can do anonymous if you want. I don't mind. When this video is released, it might be okay.
All right, so
Moose is the animal.
we're gonna do hashtag Wales.
Oh, you spelled it wrong.
Did I spell it wrong?
Yeah,
Leave it. Leave
that's
it.
the animal.
Leave it. It's on.
Fuck it, it'll work. Eric was the one that put the same whales in too. That's why I put that.
That's the animal. Oh, you barbarians! What have you done?
Oh.
Ugh. Disgusted.
I knew that was going to happen. I had a feeling in my
Good
gut that
times.
was going to happen.
Hey, I'm American.
We
from
tested you
America.
and you failed.
Epic fail in global relations.
It's the end of the special relationship, as we know.
So
Yeah, that's it. Cancel NATO.
So there's another big thing coming up, and look, there's a reason I'm wearing this shirt, which is BSides NCL, and it's a big conference for Ben here. So Ben, help us out, man. What's going on with BSides NCL this year?
Well, we're running a hybrid event this year. It's I'll start from the beginning, easiest way. So what is BSides Newcastle? Everyone kind of knows what BSides events are. They your community ran Infosec events. Absolutely awesome for networking. Get in touch with your local one. BSides Newcastle, we like being slightly different. So when we went virtual, we realized last year that it's you've got so much more of a scope for getting in people for talks and all of that, and you can bring it to everyone else. So we're running a virtual one on Gather. So it's essentially like attending a conference in an 8-bit RPG. So that should be a bit of a different experience. We've got 2 tracks on that. We've got 30-odd speakers over the 2 days. We've got workshops on, some of them on virtual. There's 1 or 2 physical as well. And we're managing to pull together a physical event. So if you do happen to be in the northeast of England, get yourself a ticket, come on down. If you happen to be anywhere else, get yourself a ticket, come on down. They're from free on our Eventbrite link. But yeah, it should be something a bit unique. I don't think anyone's tried a BSides in there yet. I'm hoping with it giving you that atmosphere, you know, when you used to play on Zelda and things like that, and you were walking around the town and went to go and visit the different, oh, I'll go to the workshop over here, I'll go to that over there, I'll go to that. It should give you a bit of that kind of feel. It's in our cloud island. It's it's now there's castles and all kinds. So yeah, we've got some absolutely excellent keynotes. We've got I'm gonna quickly get it in front of me because I'm terrible. Oh no, am I allowed to announce anything? I'm not allowed to go through the schedule yet because it hasn't been confirmed and we haven't got everyone on it. But yeah, it's going to be an awesome event. It's in September 10th and 11th, and yeah, what we're saying about the networking, the stuff like that, these are the kind of events that, well, helped me push myself into getting a job, helped other my friends, my colleagues who've helped run events like that with me, pull them in, and it's really a good place to start getting to know Infosec, getting to know the people.
Yeah, definitely. Eric had a comment. I don't know if you can see that right there. Eric's fun little comment. I just can't speak. Jordy.
Oh yeah, man. No, I am not full on Geordie. I'm kind of cheating. I'm slightly outside, so that's why you can understand me.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for that, man. I don't know. Once you get everything confirmed, let me know, and we'll spread that message far and wide, and I'll start putting as much information out as I can.
Well, we've got the schedule confirming it should be the end of this week. As soon as we've got that, I'll fire it over. But we've got people from all corners of the globe doing some absolutely awesome talks. I've been seeing things as I've been going through, and I'm getting nudged saying I can't go into a few of them. But yeah, there's some absolutely excellent content. And we have Return of the Bartitsu. So if you'd like to see Victorian gentlemen beating each other up, that shall be returned.
Yeah, I know we got BSides Pittsburgh coming too. So for anyone stateside or what have you, we got BSides Pittsburgh coming up in October. I will be doing a live security happy hour from BSides. So I will actually be on site at BSides Pittsburgh doing security happy hour from there. So that'll be a good time for sure.
Yeah. I know on securitybsides.com they've got the full list of all of the events and everything on there and listed which are the virtual and which are the physical, so you can almost get yourself down to a new one every weekend. So I'd say everyone have a look.
You said it's securitybsides.com?
Yeah, the main BSides page. In that wiki you've got everything. It tells you about all of the ones around the globe, so every official BSides event is listed there. Or should be.
I'm gonna put that up now so they can see it. But yeah, I'm excited to be doing one actually in person with people in October. That'll be amazing. Like I'm gonna have a blast with that. Hopefully Eric can join me there. Then I might have then I'll have a co-host that'll just travel around with me and interview different people.
We get the honor of we're the first UK one that's back to real world after, well, not after COVID, but at the one, it's the first one kind of coming back to reality. So we've got us, then we've got BSides Liverpool later on in the month, and there's BSides London after that. So it's hopefully ours will go excellent, and it'll be the key to starting the whole BSides events back up in the UK, which is something that I know everyone's been missing.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, let's kind of transition into what I think a lot of different conferences are missing, except for maybe BSides, but there's a lot of flashy lights at BSides these days. And that's the blue team aspect of things. So more the defense and your IR and SIM and analyst and just all your blue team side of things. I think we put so much beautification and we put offensive security and red teaming on a pedestal, like, oh, it's so cool to be a hacker and a pen tester, which, by the way, if you're not in cybersecurity or you're not a pen tester yet, it is not all fun and games. It's a lot of fucking paperwork, because you're writing reports for every pen test you do. So if you're busy, it's a lot of goddamn writing. Just saying, it's not Mr. Robot type of shit. It is legitimately you writing reports at least once a week. Whereas blue team can be fun too. You have your analysts, you have your engineers, you have your consultants. I help build vulnerability management programs and work with SIM architecture and things like that. You've got Jay Jay over here that's a SOC analyst. And I mean, dude, I remember when you first got that job, I was happy as a pig in shit, because I know you were one of the first ones I met that had been fighting to get a job in cybersecurity and actually was able to achieve that. So in Blue Team, how important is it to have within an organization a Blue Team, an actual team? You know what I mean? And you can vary different roles. So give your breakdown, and Jay, I'd love to hear from you. Give your breakdown on roles within Blue Team.
So I could probably break this down to a 90-minute segment, but I'll try and keep it as short as possible. But pen testing has its place. It has a place that, to check the overall, security controls of working in an organization, to make sure that you've got you've got that for compliance reasons, whatever it may be. It's there to give you that assurance that you're doing okay. But a proper Blue Team is there to make sure that your security controls are always working and are always working to the optimal expectations. So if you've got a SIM tool, brilliant. Okay, you're managing some sort of risk with that SIM tool, but is it managing that risk optimally? Have you tuned that tool? And that's the beauty of like security engineering. That's when you go in and make sure that that tool is properly tuned and the SOC analysts are getting the most out of that tool as possible. And you're managing whatever risk it may be to the best of the ability of that tool. But for me, I've started to do more ransomware engagements, as well as still doing a lot of alerts and alert slogging, a lot of alert investigation, threat hunting. But I'm starting to do more ransomware investigation, and it's starting to open my eyes to how important it is for a proactive Blue Team to be in an organization, because you're not just there to slog alerts, you're there to identify where security controls are missing and where improvements could be made in the organization. And you're there to give recommendations based on that. The red team or the pen testers are there to help solidify your case. So let's just say that you've identified a missing security control. Pen testers come along and say, yeah, that is a missing security control. We've just got domain admin. You can go, the proof's there. They've done it. We've said it. Let's get the funding. So it's really good that if the Blue Team and Red Team can actually work hand in hand to help achieve the common goal of the organization, and that is to ultimately enable the business to work safely. So while they both have their place, I fell in love with Blue Team. I've done pen testing for about 3 or 4 months. I hated report writing. It dragged me down so much. I'd done one report, took me 2 weeks because I kept writing it. I'll send it off and they'll say, right, we need to put it in this template. We need to make sure that it fits these margins and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, I'm playing tennis with a report here. I've done 2 days of testing and up 2 weeks of writing this report, doing margins and making sure it looks pretty, just for somebody to turn around and say, yeah, right, okay, we've got it PCI compliant. And it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, definitely. So do you work with cloud Blue Teams at all? In your analyst role, do you work with the cloud a lot?
So it depends on the customer. we work.
So you work for an MSSP?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So a lot of ransomware victims come across, and they may have like different environments, cloud environments. They may have on-prem, off-prem, whatever it may be. We've got to tailor our kind of methods to them. So our engagements can differ massively. So let's just say that it is a cloud breach. We have to tailor our response to that environment. We have to say, okay, you've got to follow those best practices for Azure, AWS, whatever it may be, because you've got to really tailor it to the customer. You can't just go, you've got to turn MFA on, you've got to change your passwords. You've got to really go into the weeds of it and understand like the CIS benchmarks of that product.
Yeah. Ben, do you do a lot with Blue Teams?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a senior security engineer over at Quorum. Quorum Cyber. The main bit of our side is making sure that we cover the whole business. That's one of the things that I think when you either have a Blue Team inside the company or you work with a MSSP, something along those lines, that can help you identify and make sure you're actually reporting off everything. Because there's no point saying, oh, I'm monitoring my estate, something rotten. Yes, you're monitoring every single Windows device on your estate. You've got an AWS cloud over there that you're doing jack all with. so it's about making sure that you can cover the whole thing. From the analyst side, seeing what new rules need to be brought in, what things, working with the red team and pulling in what they're pulling in. And then from a security engineering side, we pull that all together and kind of just go, right, we'll make that all, put that bit in. We get to do all of the kind of fun engineering back end of all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, It's making sure that you cover everything, and that when you're bringing sources in, you're actually making them valuable. There's no point just having data in for you to go 2 weeks after a breach. Oh yeah, we knew about that. That came in this log, but we weren't alerting on it. It's about actually doing something with the data.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we've hit 5:30. We're gonna do our next giveaway. So let's pull this screen up here. We're gonna hit draw. Who's next? Who wins? Who wins? Security Guru guy on Twitch. Hey, on Twitch, Jay, do you have a Twitch stream at all?
No, I don't.
All right, I'll have him send me a message on Twitch, and I'll just get one of the codes from you.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Let's get Security Guru guy the code, and congratulations.
Yeah, we'll whisper me a message on Twitch, Security Guru guy. So yeah, next one, Ben. This one's on you. What's the next hashtag?
Well, since you knocked up Wales, I thought I might as well go local as well. So Northumberland.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, go on. You're not allowed to Google it or check it.
Send it to me in a private chat. How about that?
No, that's making it easy.
All right, so Northumberland. All right, so I'm gonna put this up on a banner real quick, and you tell me if I'm right. You said Umberland.
I just want to see how badly you butcher it.
Northumberland. Am I right in that pronunciation?
No.
It's not as bad as Worcestershire. It could be a lot worse.
Worcestershire.
You got that near enough. Yeah, it's fine.
All right, hold up. So I'm starting to collect comments now. There we go.
That could have been worse.
I watched a little bit. I watched a little bit of Last Kingdom. I know how some of that's pronounced.
Well, Vikings. Do you know obviously we have a Viking with us, but you know the series Vikings, the church.
I need to watch it. I need to watch it.
Well, a little bit of a spoiler. At the beginning, they raid a church. It's about 2 miles that way. The actual place that
nice.
They so it's pretty cool.
So in talking about blue teams, I would love to know, Paul, because you as a consultant, or not a consultant, as a recruiter, help find red teamers and blue teamers positions. I know where we are struggling right now in finding blue team positions. I know the types of roles. What are you finding it hard about in finding blue teamers, their roles within organizations?
So I think just to give you a bit of context as well, so the market's changed enormously over the past 2 years. Given the events, I don't think we need to say what event that was, but we all know it. And a lot of people are now at home, which brings on a new dynamic of who do we hire, how do we hire them, what's important to our business. It's really changed things. Like in the beginning of the pandemic, I saw all of my red team roles just go because red team isn't as important as a blue team. And it just shows from the jobs angle, like we need to have SOC analysts. We need to defend no matter what. We can hold off on the pen test for a little while. I'm sorry to say this to any pen testers watching, but pen testing is in essence a support function of the blue team. Yeah, they're there, like Jay and Ben have said, to validate things that they think they might have, the issues they might have, so then they can go to their line managers or their people in power and say, look, we need to fix this. So in terms of like the problems I've seen hiring, so recently there's been a big spike in things like threat intelligence, and SOC analyst seems to be a huge one that people are looking to hire. Problems are just like, especially in the threat intel tends to require people who know what they're doing.
Right.
You can't, it's harder to bring in a junior threat intelligence person because, on their first breach or whatever thing they're dealing with, they're liable to panic more. And the last thing you want as an organization is to have your threat intelligence, not threat intelligence, instant responder is what I was saying. Instant responder going, like that. You don't want that. You want someone who's cool as a cucumber, who's dealing with the incident, not a problem, which tends to lead to more senior people, more mature people. And that's where the problem is, like the skills gap is real, but it's not across the board. It's very, very like specific to experienced people. So, yeah, incident response, unfortunately, is a role that requires that. SOC analysts, it does depend. Experienced SOC analysts are in demand, as I'm sure both the gentlemen here are aware, because they both have worked in SOCs. Junior ones, it's a lot easier to get into SOC than it is into pen testing. So I have some examples of a junior pen test role that was published. It had well over 1,000 applicants within a week. On the same side, you had a SOC analyst role that was published. Similar requirements, to be honest. I mean, the pen test one wasn't asking for anything out of this world. It was a junior role. So it's similar requirements to that, and they had like 20 applicants. So it's a lot easier to get into. It's much more in demand. I'd say the issues they probably have is more, how do we make it more appealing to people? That's probably the main issue with blue team hiring right now. How do we get it so that, you know, it's as sexy as pen testing? Because pen testing just seems sexier, for want of a better word.
So for us, I find, so finding blue teamers, at least within my network, would not be difficult. I can find them at all levels. People always looking for work. There's one position, and Paul, you know what it is, that I have been struggling with, and that's DevSecOps, because that is still a blue team role. And that is a position that we're struggling to find a higher level, you know, someone that can exceed, you know, a junior level. And again, for those organizations out there that can afford to hire juniors and it not hurt their organization, they really should be, and they should be looking at people they can build up. But when you're in a position where you need to have a senior or a level 3 consultant that can do things, it makes it difficult, depending on who you're with, because, you know, we're struggling to find that role, and it's one of those positions where it's like you have DevOps, but sometimes they don't want to go into security, and then you have blue teamers, but they know nothing about development. So neither one of those fit that DevSecOps billet for what you're looking for. And again, it's not a case of not wanting to build people up. We want to get to the point where in our blue team where we can hire juniors and do all these things and build people up and bring you in, and, you know, like, oh, you're interested in security, you want to do blue team? Cool, come on, let's go. But this is a position in particular where we can't do that. We can't just sit there and be like, oh, you're interested in it? Cool, we'll train you. And then, you know, we don't care if you leave in a year. This is a position where it's like, you have to be here. You know what I mean? We need to have someone that we know is going to be around.
Yeah. I know we've been for this side of the order. It's the same thing. It's finding that unicorn of that senior security engineer, that person that's actually knows what they're doing. You can put them straight. They can fly straight away. But yeah, I do totally agree. You need to build them up.
Yeah, and again, I'm all for that. I'm one of the biggest advocates of your experience, your degree, your cert shouldn't matter. If you have a love and interest, if you want to get into it, I should be able to bring you in as a junior level, whatever, and train you and see where things go.
And the issue I have with that as well, so you got your shopping list of requirements. So let's say you're hiring, like you said, for a DevSecOps. You will have things you need. There's no way around having this skill. You know, you need to know a bit about coding, for example, in order to do this job. There's no way around that. There are some requirements which might be a bit flexible, and that's where you need to think, right, if I can get someone who can do this and this is flexible, I might be able to train that person. That would be, so obviously go for the unicorn first if you can, by all means. That, you know, they're the perfect candidate, take them on. But if you're struggling to find that, that's when you go back to your shopping list and think, right, what can I potentially miss from that? What can I be flexible on? Do I need to increase salary as well? Is it remote? Can I broaden the geographical scope? This is something that as a recruiter we do. We'd always look locally first, even if it's remote, and then we broaden the geographical scope out further and further. It just makes sense to have someone local.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the questions we got, and I have my own take on it. Whoever wants to answer though can answer. What skill sets are blue team and red teams looking for? I've been on both sides of the fence, so I have my own ideas, but feel free, give your answers. Let's go with Jay.
Okay. So the biggest thing is, yes, you've got abundance of technical resources up there. So you've got your network resources, your Linux resources, your Linux administration, your Windows administration, all that inside and out, your network inside and out. Critical thinking is massive. So let's just say, I'm going to put it in the context of a SOC analyst. Let's just say you've got an alert come in. You need to be able to articulate your knowledge to tell a story to what that alert is telling you. So let's just say that you've just seen potential beacon into a C2 server. Well, how do you know it's a C2 server? How do you know that it's beaconing? And understanding how you can apply your knowledge to that alert is the biggest skill that's going to take you from a junior SOC analyst to a senior SOC analyst within a year, because you're not just look at these alerts, you're telling a story. And the biggest advice that my old manager told me was, instead of putting I think, put I know because of I found this evidence. So that is a massive skill, is backing up your thinking with evidence based on your knowledge.
Yeah, definitely. As far as red teams go, because I've been on red teams, it's really your ability to adapt and overcome. And I'm gonna say this with the caveat that there's a difference between a red teamer and a pen tester. See, a red teamer, in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, other people have different opinions. My opinion is, as a red teamer, you're supposed to get in quietly. You do the physical pen testing. When you're doing a red team engagement, you're supposed to be seeing if you can hide, if you can kind of cover your tracks and not trip any alarms and things like that. Whereas as a pen tester, dude, you're using Metasploit, Nmap, Nessus, you name it, you're using it. If there's a tool on a market that you have access to, you're going ham and just blowing things out of the water. So if you're looking as a pen tester, know your tool sets and know how to use them and use them efficiently. Metasploit as a tool, when used properly, is great for pen tests because you have your workspaces, you can build your clients, and you don't have to, you don't have to like have data mixed together. You can build different databases. Your database can be set up in such a way that client A is here, client B is here, and you can have the same IP and different operating systems and everything else because it's two different engagements. So Metasploit is a tool for a pen test. If you know how to use it and use it properly, is fantastic. You can run Nmap from it. You can do all these other things. So as a red teamer, again, differentiate a pen test engagement from a red team engagement, because a pen test engagement, you're going to use Metasploit, you're going to use Cobalt Strike, you're going to use Burp Suite, you're going to use whatever else out there. As a red teamer, I'm sorry, you should not. And if you can get by any defenses with Metasploit as a red teamer, then the organization you're going into really needs to double check their EDR or whatever security solutions they're using, because Metasploit puts out their signatures. Their signatures are given to these vendors for that reason, so that their exploits cannot be used against these companies. So if you can get past an organization as a red teamer with Metasploit, you got bigger problems. As a blue teamer, in my eyes, man, it's like Jay said, you got to be able to develop that story. I spent a lot of time working in an MSSP as a security engineer, and it was very much I did it on Fridays for shits and giggles to piss off the analysts. I would go in and look at Logarithm or McAfee ESM or whatever we were using at that time and find where it was off baseline, where things looked out of norm, and then go to the analyst and be like, hey guys, you might want to look at this. Well, why? Because I've been looking at this system for the past week and this is way above normal. And they'd be like, really? On a Friday? You're giving that to me now? Yeah. Go do your damn job. Go do it. And then I would help. Like I would, build the story with them and find different issues. But in the company I work with now, I just did a threat hunting exercise on why C2 servers are so hard to really find, because you have these threat lists and you're like, oh, these are all the known C2 servers. Then all of a sudden at 10 o'clock at night, you're pinging IPs and you don't know, you're sending data at 10 o'clock at night and you don't know if it's a C2 server. You don't know if it's a Microsoft update because you haven't baselined your shit. You don't know what applications you're running. So it would really be about, I say this, look, I just did a video, go back and look at Tech Tuesday on Security Onion. If you're trying to develop skills as a blue teamer, go watch that video, install Security Onion, and follow me for the next few weeks because I'll be doing more videos on it. And Eric Gallardo will be doing videos on I don't know how to pronounce it. But we're going to be collaborating on a bunch of videos here coming up. So if you're looking for blue team skills for free and just happen to want to donate to us, that we're going to be doing a lot of them. And I'd love Jay and Ben, and I'd love to pull you guys in to do a few of those and see how we can develop those tool sets out for these guys and just really build a free channel where if people want to donate, great. If not, then no sweat off my back. I'm still going to do it. So we got another question. We're going to go down. Is there any blue team positions which are popular part-time? This one is probably more so for you, Paul, because I don't know of any part-time blue team positions. I've never seen one.
Contracting. To go contracting and just say, like, I'm going to work for 3 months and then I'm going to take 3 months off. Other than that, if they're looking for part-time 3 days a week, no junior ones would do that. It would have to be an experienced... Well, Jay's shaking his head. I wouldn't see a junior doing part-time because they want to train them.
I've seen part-time courses and things like that, and some companies sponsoring them. I was messaging one of my friends to try and work out what the link was for it, but he's not got back to me. But there is a few SOC training things that you can do part-time, and SOC companies that are off the back of those that bring you in kind of part-time SOC, and they
bring you in part-time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know.
I can't remember who backs it, but when I find it, I'll message it.
Yeah. All right, so I got one. I got to step away for a quick second. How to get into DevSecOps without working in DevOps before? You three guys, go ahead and have fun with this.
Okay.
Well,
so with DevSecOps, it's more of a mentality as opposed to an actual skill set. So you've got the DevOps, you've got the IT operations supporting the development operations, and they support each other to make DevOps. But the SEC is more of it's a mentality. It's a shift left. And what I mean by shift left is you've got the development lifecycle all the way from the planning stages to the customer requirements, all the way to the right-hand side, which is the release of the product. And the shift left mentality is how do we get security really early on in the life cycle? So how do we build the customer requirements with safety in mind? How do we enable the customer to get the requirements that they require, but as safely as possible? And it's just a mentality. So you've got to be able to build that security mentality around this DevOps skill set. You're going to be using products like Kubernetes to host your web applications or your applications. You're going to be knowing how to build application environments, testing environments, staging environments, how to build them securely, how to do proper amounts of security testing on them. But it's honestly, DevSecOps in its all is a mentality. So it's applying your security knowledge to your DevOps knowledge. So if you're going to do DevSecOps, study DevOps, go Google it, go research the required skills, what you need to do. But in the back of your mind, have that security mindset. And whatever you're studying, every time you're studying it, apply security to it. And I guarantee you, after about 6 months of doing that, you're going to be ready for a DevSecOps role.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It takes time, but I think you need to be able to do both. And one of the big things that I think a lot of people are missing right now is infrastructure as code. I know I myself have had to do a lot of study on it. I really have to really get it And even still, I'm struggling. I was not a big cloud user before I started working as a consultant. So I had no need for infrastructure as code. I just didn't. So let's do our last drawing real quick. Let me go ahead, throw this up here. And
Here we go.
here we go.
Here we go.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Who's it going to be? If Eric wins, we riot. Arjun. All right. As you're on YouTube, do me a favor real quick. Text me a Twitter handle or put in chat a Twitter handle or something like that that we can use to get a hold of you with that code. Or you can always message Jay Jay Davey. You can get on LinkedIn or something, and all their contact info. If you need to get a hold of Jay, get a hold of Jay and myself. All that contact info is in what do you call it, in the description.
Well done on winning. Good work.
So he did.
It's hard. It's hard to spell. It's a big word. I mean, I'm dyslexic and I was struggling.
Hey, I live near there and I was struggling reading that out. But I want to spin back and answer one of the questions that I noticed in the comments from the JJ Couch 5. Is being a good, I'll not say the word, but it's being a good, helpful. I gotta say yes.
Yes. Yes.
There's a difference though. It's not being a bullshit, but sorry.
It's adding fluff.
Yeah, it's knowing how to blag it. So if you are stuck in a meeting and you're out of your depth, knowing when you have to say you're out of your depth, if you know it'll take you 2 minutes of a quick Google, go right, I'll just research this, give me 2 minutes, I'll just do that. And being able to blag it and being able to work your way around, being able to essentially, it's a little bit social engineering, it's a little bit knowing how to run a meeting, it's a little bit kind of that side of things. But yeah, it is in a way helpful. Obviously, being the kind of person where they say they'll do everything, then you end up, not, the true kind of meaning of that. But yeah, may not be popular, but the ability to blag, the ability to think on the fly, definitely, and the ability just to keep on going is pretty cool.
Yeah, very much so. I think, and again, it's not. It's we say bullshitting, but it's not bullshitting. It is one of the things. At least if you're trying to get a job in interviews, we recognize bullshit.
Yeah.
If you're lying through your teeth or you don't know what you're doing, we recognize bullshit out the gate. I can tell if you're reading a screen and like getting your information from the screen in front of you, like, hey, these are all the programs I'd use. And the moment you question them on that program, they know nothing about it. I don't want to know what you're going to use because you see it on a screen. I want to know why you're going to use, why you say that tool. So if you can give me a valid reason as to why you're using X tool or X language or whatever the case may be, then I know you're legit. But if you're just reading from a screen of like AWS tools of like, oh yeah, I would use this, and this to do all these things. Why? Yeah. Well, what do you need to make this work? So which of the programs you just listed make X program work? And when you start looking around and I see you typing, there's a big problem. It means you're just listing things you don't actually know. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know. Don't be afraid to say, I'd have to look it up. Don't be afraid to say, Google is my friend. Shit like that goes a long way with people in the interview process because then they know that, okay, he may know it or know how to find the information, but he doesn't know it right now. And that's the big thing. Admit where you're weak.
Soft skills, and it's something that I think is missing in every role, is the ability to say, one, admit you're wrong and be able to say, I don't know things. It's huge. It takes a lot of strength of character to say that because no one wants to be wrong, do they? At the end of the day. So it takes a great strength of character to say, I don't know the answer to that question, but I can find out for you. Just give me 10 minutes, whatever it is to find that. And I think we're talking about what skills do we look for in blue and red teaming. One thing we missed is equally soft skills. Yes. Being able to have a conversation with other members of the team who aren't in your blue team or red team. customers if you're an MSP like the guys are, because customers aren't always techies. They haven't got a clue what an SQL injection is. You just be talking, foreign language to them. So being able to say like this is what we're doing to them requires soft skills, and it's something I think we lack.
I think. Well, so before I say my piece, Mercury 180, Ben, if I come to NCL, can you sign me an autograph? Yes or no?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah.
All right, there you go. You got a yes. Yes, it is.
Right. Mercury's a good lad as well. I like Mercury. Got a lot of time for him.
Cool.
So I ain't even gonna say that.
Oh, 1 second, I need to scroll down.
But I think soft skills are something I've talked about on this show. Paul, I think we talked about it, me, you, and Ben, the last time I had you guys on.
Yeah.
I think soft skills are highly, highly underrated. And I love Amy's comment. I talk dirty to them, far too techy. Had to throw that one up there. This is awesome. But I gotta say, soft skills are a huge thing that a lot of techies are lacking, and it's something I have been promoting a lot. Is soft skills. Hell, go back and look at my channel. I have a whole fucking playlist on soft skills. I've done it. I've talked about it because even as a techie, I know how important it is. But this is what I'm gonna do right now. Look, it's been a blast having you guys on. We got another 4 minutes. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna bring in the showrunner, the producer, the big man behind the scenes of New Battlefields, which is a show that I now co-host with the great Eric Bellardo. And the reason I'm bringing him on is because he has helped me a lot in just helping to promote the channel and developing this community, and really trying to make sure that we are a community and we're not excluding anybody. We're not doing anything like that, and looking out for everybody. And so I bring him on. He has asked me to be a co-host on New Battlefields. I couldn't do it yesterday because of my father's birthday, but I will be back next week. So Eric, if you wouldn't mind, let's give let me find the right screen. There it is. Let's give these guys what's going on with New Battlefields coming up.
Well, the first thing is thank you very much for having me on the stream. Guys, I've been laughing backstage the entire time. Can you put the message that I sent to Paul there on the back?
The one in the back?
The very long one that I put.
I mean, yeah, it's up here. I'll
Scroll up.
Right there. This one?
Ah, Llanfair plus Gwyngaeth go Gareth, win the robot Llantysilio go go go. Yeah.
That's the hashtag I wanted to use for the last drawing, but because he messed Wales.
I think if I'd have said that, I would have got a blank from everyone.
But no, guys, this has brought me back because I used to work with British Forces Germany for 3 years. So I spent a lot of time in the UK. So it's great to hear all of you. And Ben and I have been talking. I've been helping him promote NCL. So I'm so happy to see you, and I wish you all the luck with the B-Sides. So if you need anything or you want to come on the show, let us know, okay? And this next week on CyberPapa's New Battlefield, we have an exciting show on online harassment with Sarah Morajad, one of the great science communicators out there. She's going to talk about online safety and online harassment. So catch that Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's kind of late for you guys, but watch the replays. So
yeah, definitely. It's one of those things. I'm very grateful for the community that we've built. Again, I'm one of those people that I love everybody. I will tell you to your face that I hate people. But the fact remains that in this community, I love just the way we come together and the way we help each other out. Alyssa Miller's helped me out. Shannon Morris, look, I don't know if she watches my show. She's been on my show. She may not always watch it, but Shannon Morris has been a huge impact in how I do things and helping me better the way I do different areas. Studio Sec, I've seen his show. I'm still trying to figure out how he gets more views than I do, and I've got more subscribers. It blows my mind. So does Eric. It just completely boggles my mind.
It's this fate. You know?
It's got to be. It's got to be. But if you're not subscribed to any of these channels, look, this is the one thing I do, and this is what I think separates me from a lot of other community content creators out there. Is I want to see other content creators. I promote Eric Bellardo. I promote Studio Sec, Shannon Morse, Tech Sec Chicks. I promote all these other groups, creators, DJAX Alpha and Alpha Cybersecurity, because we all think differently. We all have a different mindset. We all have a different opinion and a different set of information to share. So if you are not subscribed to any of these channels, please go out and do it. Watch their videos. Not only does it help the creator, but it helps the community because you may get some information that maybe you didn't get before from somebody else. This channel, I want to give a shout out to Devil Ray and Devil Ray Pen Testing. He just did a huge video with Republic of Hackers. I'm looking at the Discord channel right now and couldn't read the damn name. And I got another show at 7. This is going to be interesting. But it was on cross-site scripting. So go ahead and watch his playlist on here. Subscribe, like, comment, anything. Share the video out. This has been a blast. Jay, it has been amazing having you on here. You have an epic beard. My wife would kill me if I let my beard get that long again.
And to get us out of here, we all have to do the beard stroke.
Yeah.
They've been asking for it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It increases intellectual ability.
Please
All right,
tell
guys,
me someone to a screenshot of that. I want that as my desktop.
I regret having shaved the other day.
So look, I love you
I
guys. It's
should
been
get
great.
them.
Everybody who's tuned in and watched, thank you for joining us. Join us again here in about an hour at 7 p.m. I will be live with Lola Curano. I hope I didn't butcher her name, but we will be talking about women in cyber. We will be talking about her journey into cybersecurity, which has been different from a lot of others. And we will be talking about time management. So if you're interested in any of those topics, please join us then. And I will see you all next time.
Brilliant.